Just the last couple of questions then that I just wanted to get your input on. So one of the questions that got sent in was, how do you ensure, or how does the Akada ensure that the martial art taught is Shastar Vidya, as in, are other martial arts incorporated in other styles, or is this entirely Shastar Vidya, Khalsa Yudh Vidya?
So what I teach is a Kshatriya Vidya from the Kshatriya. So for instance, one of the key principles of locomotion, like moving in the Vidya, we don't push off the ground, we don't use hips. So we move by spilling our body mass, head of our central of gravity with our shoulders. So we have a text like the Agni Puran, which is a text written between the 9th and 11th century, which speaks about Kandegar. Kanda means shoulder blade. Then we have in Sui Prakash, which is a text written around 1846 that talks about Pai and Sagande Saath. When I teach, this is the big thing, when I teach, I have to vouch for everything, like the sheer body mechanics. You listen to when my books come out, or just go, you will see the interviews given by other martial artists. The Vidya is completely distinct. So the way the Chinese move, or the Japanese move, or the Filipinos, Indonesians, from the way we hold our stick, from the way we would generate our locomotion, the whole body mechanic, it is unique. And I can vouch for this. So when I talk about Lapt or Chap, or Lap or Fandana, all these are terms found in Dasam and Sablo Granth. And when I talk about Dhai, to surge ahead, to move quicker than So yesterday I was teaching a technique, how to cover 15 feet with a chap and a thigh before the person can even strike. Okay, so I'll have a person standing 15 feet away from me, and I'll tell him that as soon as he sees me to launch, as soon as he registers me moving to advancing towards him, strike an empty air if you can. To cover that ground with Lap Chapt. Okay, yeah, and you'll find this references like a Lapak Singh Tai. You'll find in ancient texts and so on. That's why in my books, I've given all the citations from Dasam Sablo Granth, Naveen Panpar, Prakash, Gurbala Shevi, etc. I've given also, it's a book in English, but also where there's terminology, I've given it Gurmukhi as well, so that people can understand that it's there. The Vidya I teach, okay, I make, this is the biggest thing, it is not in any way, it is too mechanically, body mechanic wise in every way, is completely distinct from the way we hold the weapons, the way we wield the weapons, the way we move. For instance, we don't turn our hips in Kshatriya. All of the martial arts, they turn their hips. So we can turn from left to right without turning our hips. When I sink, I don't sink with my knees. I can sink without bending my knees and so on. And all locomotion is done in a particular way. We generate Gati Shakti, kinetic energy, Akarshan Shakti, and so on. And there's a lot of terminologies you'll find in. So when Guru Gobind Singh talks about Samit, okay, Biran Kol Mare. Samitana means is a particular way of connecting the chakras, aligning the core muscles, thinking and relaxing. All this is unique. And a lot of advanced martial artists, like I had one martial artist who was like a 12th Dan in ninjutsu of Hatsumi. And when he saw what I was doing, he goes to me, we call this the void within the void, because it's creating space within space. I said, we say, Antar Shunne, Bar Shunne, Tere Brahman Shunne, Shunne, Jota Shunne, Jante, Papanapun. That's Guru Nanak Dev Ji, okay? When people talk about Bruce Lee, he talks about being like water. And when they say be like water, then Guru Gobind Singh says, Jim Baran ko bar mare hot linte mansandare. When we strike water, the first water merges with the water, and he becomes merged as one. The higher concepts of higher martial arts we find in the Sikh Shastra Vidya. But like I said, when our books come out, I've spent last 10 years collecting. I've been presenting martial arts. I mean, it's easy for me to blow my own trumpet, and that's why at the beginning I never revealed my lineage. I didn't mention nothing. I just did it. So if they can beat me, then obviously I can't. Then they can no need to learn from it. So I've now presented the art and to martial artists throughout and so on, the world and so on. And it's a combat martial art. Don't compare this to MMA and so on. Okay, because MMA is a sport at the end of the day, and everything we do be illegal in what they do and so on. And it is not confined to, it's called Shastar Vidiya. So basically we have 10 styles of unarmed combat and so on, which deals in neck. So in Sikh history, they speak of Gardan Tor Pehlwan, neck-breaking champions. The Vidya ends in neck breaking. The Vidya is to do with Chatka and Patka. Chatka means to kill instantaneously, Patka means to incapacitate. The Vidya is for protecting oneself, one's family, one's community, society, and above all, promoting dharma. And so it's not a sport. Like Magadev would say, "E Vidya, khed nahi hegi, Shastar khadone nahi hege. So the Vidya is not a game. The Shastar are not toys. Your city said it, it's not a toy. And we saying they're not bache that play, like, okay? So it's a way of life and it is practical. So I've been teaching from soldiers to people from the FBI, correctional officers and so on, army soldiers, etc. So the Vidya is a very practical Vidya, but it is unique. Like, so you can come and experience it, but if you are apprehensive coming to me because I might contaminate you, whatever, my books are coming out. Read my books, okay? Then the app is coming out, and the app you can you can check the Vidya out in terms of what is presented. In the app is bronze app, which will give all the videos and stuff which are advertising the Vidya. But then the silver section, which for a small fee you can learn from. So there you can see what the science is. How can I lift my foot without lifting my foot? Okay, I can have, when in the Ramayana, there's a story of Angad putting his foot down and challenging the Rakish to come and lift the foot off the ground if they can. So the science behind this is to sink your body mass into the foot so no one can lift it. So when I go amongst the Hindus in India, I do those things. I say, look, I'm going to put my foot down just like Angad did in the Ramayana, and I'll tell you how I do it afterwards. But first, see if you can lift the foot, because I can sink my weight into it. So when they see things like this, and when I'm teaching about Skandegat, moving the shoulders, and they read in the Agni Puran, when I'm speaking about Akarshan Shakti, and you find that in the Agni Puran as well, ancient texts vouch for, when I talk about Stanu, it's mentioned in the Vedas and so on, and when I speak about Pashupat, it's mentioned Sabdo Granth and so on. So these texts, which are neglected by Sikhs anyway, so whatever I teach, I vouch for. Like, so when I teach with a stick, how long should a stick be like? There are boles we have in the Khade. सब स्लोत राखिए सवा हाथ प्रमाण पूरे सतगुरु भेजे दे के बड़ा तान दे लेके बड़ा तान बैरी के सिर पर जाओ कहो गुरु गोबिंद सिंह पढ़ मंत्र श्री वाहिगुरु 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 allow. Now that says the sabak slot, the instructional stick should be sava hath long. Okay, so when I sing bole like that, but I sing sadara kase kama kasa, this is how the attitude of saying should be. But I sing sadara kase kamar kasa para siru sara mukhulla tara ture shati taan kar much krai bata de hath rakhe mota sota sota khadgaye lange dusal lagare mar sota mora je dusal lagare dusal pachare aisa she rubiya nambi amriya pradhan sing ganiye. So these are ancient boles which are now forgotten by Nihangs in general. Like, and when I was given this task by Baba Santa Singh to write the Burda history, don't forget, Burda history has never been written before. And we have now produced 9 volumes of it with 100 images each. So it's a very large volume dealing with all aspects of Sikh history and everything that's sort of missing in there. We just put everything in there so everybody knows what's in there. So this will eventually come out. Like I said, this book has been over 20, 30 years in the making and so on. But we are nearly there now. Those Sikhs who say, oh, we want to do karate, judo, kung fu, Japanese art. You could do what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. You could read the Bible, the Quran, whatever you want. You could. Knowledge is knowledge. But Shastar Vidya, this is a kardi cheez, and we can preserve this. I have many students now who just come to seminars and they are mixing it with kung fu, karate, and so on out there because he makes their kung fu karate work better. But in the core of the Akhada, we're keeping the Vidya because it's Gurmat. We are keeping it pure as possible. So when I teach, there's no allowed or malowed. Our principles for fighting on the ground, in the waters, everything else, I will back up from history. When you read my books, you'll see how much backing there is. So this is like Baba Ram Singh and old Baba Nahang asked him this as well. Okay, Baba Ji, is Vidya jo koi malowed hai ya? Is there any kind of altered mixture from foreign sources in this Vidya? And he made it quite clear that a Vidya taksila to only a Pratan Vidya, which koi malad taksila, and there's no adulteration in this. I'm not saying this from a Hankar point of view. That's just what it is. But anyway, the Vidya is like this: that it is a pure Vidya of our Kshatriya. It's not a Sikh. Sikhs are the latest because for them, the Vidya is a Kshatriya Vidya, and that's how Guru Gobind Singh created it. Guru Gobind Singh said, "Kal Apashak Kshatriya Dharma Apayo." I will create a Akal Purkh Kshatriya Dharma. This Sant Spy that you get nowadays is this Sant Spy notion onward Christian shoulders, like when the saints go marching on, is British Raj period. We are not Sants, we are Kshatriya. So Guru Gobind Singh always says that. Kshatriya Supat Sundar Lage, Sirpag Si Spag Band, Sirke Si Spag Band, Sirpag Bande like. So the Kshatriya Srup is the beautiful form of Kshatriya. And how is that form? Okay, Sirke Si Spag Bande. So we have we long Ks, and we have Pagonas. So we are Kshatriya, and the Vidya is Kshatriya. And this is how I connect with the Hindus in India, because they are all descending from, like the warriors are Kshatriya. And we can connect. Guru Gobind Singh's mission in the world was to create a Kshatriya Panth, like, of warriors, of Sajjan Sure. Okay, so Sajjan Sure is Gair Gambira, like of deep, profound thinking. Gair Gambira, Guni Gihira, of great virtue. Let's go Gair Gambira, Guni Gihira, Sajjan Sura, like a noble warrior. Sab Log, masterful. Dvaitamar, so killing all sensuality. Jape Kalka, Sarkal, Mahakal, Mahakal, Vaheguru. Okay, so these are the mantras. We have 6 mantras as opposed. So that's the type of Sikh that the Akhada wants to produce, and so on. And like I said, and this kind of universal teaching of this appeals to, like I said, I have students from all walks. Even in Saudi Arabia, they want me to teach there as well. Like, so I'm going, the Vidya, like Gurmat can go anywhere in the world. Like, it's universal, like. So the Vidya is the same way as well. And I'm not compromising it. I'm not twisting it. I'm not changing it. Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh's message or teachings are universal teachings. I wouldn't even say it's their teaching. It's Adsat, Jagasat, Heavisat, Nanak. It's from the very beginning of time. Like, it's the essence of truth. It's Gurmat.